right, let's talk about finances again. We've got Eric back with us from SBC. New year. We're still distancing, so some things haven't changed.
Yeah, that's the truth.
But new administration coming in. What does this mean in your world? I mean, we're expecting policy changes, but how are those policy changes going to affect what you do and what your clients are doing?
I think primarily it's going to really depend on how many of these policy changes become reality. Obviously, if you've been watching what the agenda is here, the Green Deal, expanding welfare, opening borders, possibly bringing another state. It just goes on and on and on and on. Well, all of this is going to come at a great price, great expense. And there's no other choice but really to revisit like what we were talking about in the past, modern monetary theory, meaning that we have this ability to just print forever, tax heavily upon those that are making too much money, and that's going to be the direction that we're going to have to take, and we're going to have to hope that that theory is correct, or else the alternative is calamity for the dollar. I mean, and that's all there is to it. It's one's going to work. If it doesn't, then we're going to have big problems.
An established company, you have a lot of established clients that you deal with. What are your established clients doing, and what are they saying? What are the people that know this industry and know these patterns? What are they doing right now?
Well, so we've had a lot of people coming in, both for silver, gold, but more importantly, I think one of the biggest changes that I've seen after just before that ball dropped and after the ball dropped is some of our larger portfolios. Those particular investors also had large stock portfolios. I've never heard investors say, I liquidated all my stocks, I'm coming in, guns a-blazing until now. And I've seen that multiple times, whereas though full liquidations of their stock portfolios, they felt as though that was deemed worthy, and they're bringing a large portion into tangible assets, and luckily enough, we're one of those assets that they're chasing down.
Do you think it's the potential for these policy changes or more, or is it they're seeing like bubble in the stock market? I mean, I guess it doesn't matter if that's but what are they thinking? Is that what they're telling you, which way they're going?
Well, one of my clients said to me, I'm really concerned because, the stock market's at all-time highs, Bitcoin's at all-time highs, property values are soaring, everything's soaring. This just looks like a bubble to me, and this is where my concern lies. All that coupled with the idea of the policies of the new administration and the Senate and the Congress and not having anybody to give them like a break check, that's concerning to a lot of people, and I think that's the reason why we've seen that recently.
It's interesting because what I do is we talk about policies from a judgmental standpoint, but what you do is you just react to what's happening. Your industry reacts to what's going on. It's not a judgment, it's just a reaction to what's happening. And are you really confident in seeing that this is what's happening, that we are going in that direction?
So it's funny to use the word reaction, because if you kind of think about it, our economy is completely based off reaction. I mean, the Fed reacts to things. We don't have any real long-term plan in this country at all when it comes to budgets, deficits, spending, surplus, none of that. It's just, this happened today. This is what we're going to do with the interest rates. This is how we're going to print the money. This is how we're going to hand it out. And that's it. I mean, really, if you think about it, we're like basically like a college kid with an unlimited credit card at this point in time. And we really don't think about our actions before we take them.
Well, that's why I like when you come down and we talk about this. You've got to have a wealth of information, but they've got to be knowledgeable people that you can trust. And that's the one thing we can say about SBC is that they're knowledgeable and you can trust them. Go to the website, but most of all, make the phone call, talk to one of your guys, talk to one of the people that work for you, because information is king, right?
Absolutely.
Appreciate you coming down.
Thank you very much for having me.